record.
Okay. Here we go. Okay, we're up to Yud Aleph. We're doing the Psicha Moshe. We're learning a Sefer Chafetz Chaim and Shmiras haLashon. We try to do a day's portion every day. Sometimes you do a little more. In any case, in the broken up Sefer, it's Yud Beis Tishrei, and we're listing all the losases that a person generally transgresses when he speaks Lashon Horah. So number 5. There's a lav, Hishamalacha, it's a lav, lest you forget your God. Wow. So also say for arrogant people, if you're making fun, you're mocking, you're making fun of another Jew, so you must think that you're really, as I say in English, hot stuff. If you're not putting someone else down, you must think that you're special and you're big. If you are humble, you wouldn't be knocking someone else. Because if he recognized his own faults, he wouldn't be making fun of another. Is very, very hard, very rough. That because of that, if someone is a Baal Gaiva, wow, you'd have to learn that Gemara. Then at the time of Tchias HaMesim, his offer, he decomposed, does not come together again. And it's compared to serving Avodah Zarah. Shchina Mayalel, and the Shchina cries upon him. When he could Ain Shama Gemara. Wow. So if you're making fun of another one, in other words, the lav was Hishamalacha Pentishkach Hashem Alikecha. Right, and the Chafetz Chaim is saying that that's a losa saying Gasei Ruach, that if you don't forget HaKadosh Baruch Hu, then you're always automatically humbled. If you live with HaKadosh Baruch Hu, then obviously you're not going to be arrogant. If someone's arrogant, it means that he forgot Hashem, and therefore he's able to think that he's great. On the bottom, he says it's the Gemara in Soita, so it's the same Gemara. This lav is brought. Okay. On the bottom, he says in the Be'er Mayim Chaim, I see he says in letter Hey, a few lines down, right? We could assume that he thinks that he's very special. Everything's they're lettered. You should know the lavza So he says this is only true in Lashon Horah, not in Rechilas. When you say Rechilas, you're not saying your own, you're not knocking someone. You're just saying that someone else did something to you. Someone said something about you. Lashon Horah is when you magana someone. Says, but still, even if it's true, I feel shloi b'fon. And then he goes on here in the Sefer itself, and he says, he adds, ubefrat. Everything we said until now about the Baal Gaiva says, and specifically in B'sipra Zesha Kolin Chaveru Mechaber Esatz. There's a thing called someone who's Mechaber B'Kolin Chaveru, that by putting the other guy down, he's building himself up. Like it's very common group of people, and the bully makes fun of someone, and everybody then looks up at the bully as being so special, like that was good, that was a good line. That was so he says it certainly is specific and more so for frat. If through saying this Lashon Horah of kolon chavero, of finding the bad on someone else from a chabris, that's muvadar eva b'lav zeh, then certainly he transgresses the slav. Muvad masha karsu rabbi sema zabruk kotra moilam haba. Besides the fact that Chazal cut the guy off, someone who's Muschavi b'kol Chaveri loses his Olam Haba va'omer Gemara Yishami Muschavi b'kol Chaveri ein lechet l'Olam Haba. So that's number 5. When you speak Lashon Horah, so he did say in Ber Ma'achayim it doesn't apply to Rechilas, but someone who speaks Lashon Horah, he's also over on this law, and certainly if by doing that he's Muschaber Kol Chaver, it's that much worse. Number 6, V'oiver Namya Masaper Vehamakabel. Okay, both the one who says and both the one who listens accepts it. Belav Loisachalu L'Shem Kochi Chil Hashem Achar Shein B'Zeh Taiva V'Loi Hanogash. There's no physical taiva or pleasure in speaking Lashon Horah. You're not eating something, you're not doing something. It's almost like a spiritual avera. There is some type of enjoyment people get to say bad about someone else. There's like a real, even sometimes a drive, like the Torah is so powerful. Like, you shouldn't be saying it and you still say it. But there's no Ashmi Taiva Hano. So there's no reason the Torah could overcome you to eat something that's not kosher, to enjoy something you shouldn't enjoy, because there's a physical pleasure there. So if I'm doing this avera, so by doing this avera, it's basically rebelling against Hashem. It's like when you have a taiva, when you have a hano, so I'm not rebelling against Hashem. I'm overcome by the taiva. I don't mean to go against Hashem. But when there's no taiva and there's no hano, and you're doing it, so it means even though Hashem said not to do it, I'm doing it. And that's Machal Hashem Shemayim, and that's a Chilul Hashem. He says this is true even for the average truth. For the and certainly the person saying the Lashon Horah is a choshev person. And people look at his actions and they look up to him. That he's speaking Lashon Horah. He's rebelling. And so much more if you said the Lashon Horah in public, which on its own is a very serious level. All right, let's do another day, okay? Well, the following, sometimes, okay, not always, but sometimes, this is number 7. There's an issue to hate another fellow Jew in your heart. And when I do transgress this, if when you're with the guy, you speak nice. But when he's not there, you put this guy down in front of other people. So you're being over because when you spoke to him when he was there, you spoke nicely. So it's in your heart. And certainly, if when he says it over to the other people, he tells them, don't tell them that I said it. Okay, now he's saying if you would say this in front of the person himself, so you're not over unless because you hate him openly. And number ches and tes 8 and 9. Right? He's going to explain it. L'sika means to take revenge actively, where someone asks you for something and you say, I'm not giving it to you because you didn't give me. Right? You didn't lend me your axe. And l'sita is where you say, I'm going to give it to you, not like how you didn't give it to me, which means that in your heart, you're holding the grudge. So that's it. L'sika is revenge, and l'sita is holding a grudge. To love him. For example, you have some enmity against this person that he did something. You had asked him for a loan to help you financially, and the person wasn't willing to help you. And now you hold it in his heart. Therefore, in your heart, you're holding a grudge. And later you see some negative thing about him. You go and you publicize it. So first, by the fact, these are very powerful things, how we have to grow. And there are growing experiences if we use it right. You asked someone for a favor and he didn't do it, and you have no rationalization why he didn't do it. So the natural tendency of a human being is to hold a grudge against the guy. And here the Torah is being with Savos, you got to get it out of you. You can't hold a grudge against the guy. If someone overcomes that, his midas really grow. So first he was over on the fact that he held the grudge. Now, when he goes and speaks bad at him, because of that, he's taking revenge. Again, it's true what he saw, but I'm saying it over about the guy because in my heart, I have it in me to get him. So that's loisikoim. So it's a very hard thing. You have to erase it from your heart as if it never happened. Okay, let's go now to Shmiras haLashon. Let's go to Shmiras haLashon, and I have my marker on Yud Beis Tishrei. Is that right?
Correct.
Correct? Okay. So the pasuk he was explaining why, that's the heading of the yesterday's day. Why is it that the Isser is so chomer? Right? So it says, look, on one hand, there's so many labin, so many essen. So you're really transgressing a tremendous amount with it. He says, the pasuk says, Sur Meirah. Al klal avonish mein adam lamokim. That refers to the general averis of adam lamokim. Sur Meirah. V'akachama say toiv. Al klal kol ramaches, and that refers to the 248 mitzvahs. V'hiktim in brackets shmira avonish mein adam l'chaverei. Right. First it said it's all Lashon Horah, which was referring to averis being adam l'chaverei. Came Koilulim Shneim, because in fact, every mitzvah of Ben Adam l'chaveroi encompasses also Ben Adam l'malkim she'oiva retzayin Hashem she'tziva al zeh v'gam hu oisa ava b'zeh l'chaveroi. When you're over on a mitzvah shel Ben Adam l'chaveroi, you're also transgressing Ben Adam l'malkim because Hashem was the one who's mitzvah not to do it. So therefore, first the pasuk referred to Sur Meirah v'asei toiv. Well, when you don't watch yourself from speaking bad, you will be doing many averas, and great averas that are caused and that result from the aver of Lashon Horah, as what we're learning now in the Sefer Chavetz Chaim, the Psicha, all the averas that you're transgressing by speaking Lashon Horah. He says this idea of watching yourself, watching your speech, is really the root, the ikar, I guess the foundation, not to transgress most averas of Ben Adam Chaver, v'gam le'izah b'nish Ben Adam l'malkim, and also some Ben Adam l'malkim k'mavur l'mayin sham, as is clear to those who look in the psicha of the other sefer. Okay, if he divrei Chazal Masechta Serchis says, however, based on the Chazal, in Gemara Erechin, u'b'shar mekoymes sha'irich u'moed b'goydel gnusa oven hazeh b'goydel ansher, that they speak so much about how this is very specific, and not because it includes many other events. The Avera in itself, we see in the Gemara, is considered extremely serious. Pretty much not because of very much compassion of command as we will quote their holy words in the coming prokim in Yis Hashem. So the implication there is that the Avera for itself, not because of the quantitative Averis involved, but the quality of Lashon Horah itself is a very serious Avera. Besides what is resulted by saying Lashon Horah, so we have to explain Amma Why? The lama avodas chamurim b'shar avodas chamurim sheb'Torah. More serious, more severe than other serious averas of the Torah. Lashon Horah stands out as being really serious. So next day, Yud Gimel Tishrei, V'nir levaras Ebetz Hashem Yisparach B'kama Gavnei. I have a few ways to explain it. V'ayinel B'akdama Masharmanu Oidin Acher B'zeh. He says, we already spoke about this. Dine Isa B'Yishami Perek to pay Alocha Aleph. Okay, there's Yishami, the famous Perek, Elul Drov Chen Chir. Just like we say every morning, the Talmud Torah Keneged Kulam, which is Mishnah or Brisa. Halacha, it's a Mishnah in Peah. In Anshav Shalosh Nar Chak Keneged Kulam. So the Gemara there says the other side, the Tzad Hara, is the Lashon Horah Keneged Kulam also. Benatek Lashon Kaman, we're going to quote the Gemara in Peah soon. So it comes out that Talmud Torah is the greatest mitzvah, which we call mitzvahs. Connectoi, and as a parallel on the Tzad Hara, Lashon Horah Chomer Sheb'chol Ha'avonos. It's the most serious of all the averas. Says it would seem obvious that the reason is the Kumash Binyani HaYisodos Yashem Yisrael Koila. Says because just like in the four basic elements that Hashem put in the world, the Hainu Eish, Ruach, Mayim, Ofer. HaYisoda Ruchni, who Harbi Yosef Chozik MeYisoda Gashmi, that the Ruchni foundation is much stronger than the physical. To the extent that the physical is almost not important, not compared to the Ruchni. As we see, when the fire overcomes something physically, it destroys it. So the Eish is much more ruchni. In fact, I heard from my Rebbe, the Eish is the most ruchni thing in the Gashmias world. Because there's nothing there. There's nothing. You put the in the fire, it burns, but you can't feel anything. There's no Gashmi to the fire. In any case, so you see that the Eish is much more powerful than, let's say, the offer or the mayim. The same thing, ruach, which is also ruchni. It's even called ruach. You're
referring to the flame. In other words, the fire is the hot part. That has mamashos, but the heat,
the flame is the flame. The Eish is the flame. It's not the wood or whatever that's burning. The Eish is the flame. He's saying ruach also. No, it's those two which are ruchani are more powerful than the Gashmi. Says the wind. You read in the news what a hurricane does. Right? Nothing stands in its way. Hurricane, tornadoes. It could be mephorik harim, take apart mountains, l'shaber slime, break stones. K'mashama akosu. Ruach kedei l'machosek mephorik harim, l'shaber slime. Kein atov b'noni el yoinin. Says the same thing is true in the parallel when we're talking upstairs. My tzitzis v'lula b'shoifer v'chol ha-mitzvahs. Avshal yodam pro gam kein tikunim g'don v'los el yoinis. Though it's true, by doing all these mitzvahs, tzitzis, lulav, shofar, what a great mitzvah. It does tremendous things in the upper worlds. By doing them, you're separated, you're uplifted. Right? Before Shabbos, you do the mitzvahs. You become holy, even if we don't realize it. Alpha PK. Says, but still, you can't equate them. The limud Torah, because limud Torah compared to them is ruchni to gashmi. Torah can include means even one statement of Torah. But and the reason is all the mitzvahs, they all latch on. They're all part of Geshem. Tzitzis, you have to have a beggar of tzitzis. Shofar, you need a shofar. They all have a physical aspect to it. You can't fulfill mitzvah tzitzis unless you wear a physical garment. But it's not true for limud Torah. Limud Torah is all dependent on speech. It's not a physical thing. Speech. You might use your mouth to speak, your vocal cords, but the speech itself is ruchni. And therefore, whatever influence, whatever effect it has on the higher worlds is beyond imagination. He says, so the same thing is true. The same thing is true in the opposite. Binyan kilkul. We're talking about destructive actions. We're all the limbs that you do in Avera, being bad. They're done with physical actions. They're done with physical. Its influence on the higher worlds is smaller. Unlike Lashon Horah, again, is totally ruchni. It's speech. Its destruction in the higher worlds is also uncalculable. Can't calculate it. And therefore, the punishment is also keneged kulam. Okay, we'll stop here.